community in the planning of pedestrian safety, bicycle lanes. All property owners, all businesses need to be at the table, along with the bicyclists, the bicycle advocates. We need to share the land and we need to share the road. So it's not an us and them. When my father was in medical school, I rode the bike 10 miles a day. To work, 5 miles to work, 5 miles home. Rain, snow, heat, sleet, whatever. This was Salt Lake City, Utah, okay? I'm an active person. It's important. But when it comes to Eagle Rock and the community of pedestrian safety, that deals with our families, our children, our businesses, our patrons who come here, who spend their money and bring their tax dollars to us. And at the end of the day, we have to have a plan that everybody is going to agree upon. So, when the businesses told me, how are you going to make it better for us? How are you going to bring us to the table along with the bicycle advocates? It's simple. We need to talk. Communication is the best vehicle to come to a conclusion. We may not always agree, but we can work together. So I am also supported by street blogs because of what I wrote in the survey. And I think it's important, but what I don't want to do is to have an us and them fight over this. It's not healthy, it's not conducive, it's not right. So at the end of the day, we need to protect our pedestrians, our families, our seniors, our disabled, our children, our bicyclists, our people, and the people who drive. We need to protect them too. And we also need to keep our businesses open with people who want to come and visit and pay and spend their money. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's start with pedestrians. I think we need to fix our sidewalks. It is amazing walking through this neighborhoods and all of the neighborhoods of all the buckled sidewalks that we have, and that has been happening for years. And when you finally get the attention of the council office, they come over and they slap some tar on it and call it a day. If in fact is going to encourage pedestrians to come out and walk on the sidewalks, they need to be walkable. We have had an incident after incident where I have been walking door to door, and I have heard about how older people have broken their hips by tripping and falling on these broken sidewalks. They have not been paying attention to it, and all we hear is that eventually we're going to have enough money to do it. But in the meantime, they're doing other kinds of things, and that is coming down in the priority, and I think it needs to be moved up in the priority. We have to find a way to make sure it gets done and get that attention. And then when you deal with the contentious issue of these bike lanes that are going on, I have no problem with bike lanes. I have no problem with bicyclists, and we are all very supportive of it. We did that way back when we were working on building and making sure that all of our buses and all of our subways were equipped with all of the equipment necessary to make it easier for bike enthusiasts to utilize our system across the board. But what has happened here is I've been walking door to door. I went to Mr. Tapia's house, and Mr. Tapia said clearly, it's only one way. And that is if you're for the bicycle lanes, I'm not supporting you. If you're against them, I'll be willing to support you. I don't need it to be at that level. Nobody does. We need to build some cooperative mechanism in which we take on, I think, important issues like the bike lane and make sure, I know that there's boasting about all the meetings that were held and how we outreach. But when I have gone out there and talked to the community, that is not what we're hearing. There wasn't a dialogue. They didn't go out there and talk to what we created is a war, and we don't need it today. We need to find a way as leaders to bring people together, to find those ways that how we can accommodate it, because people will do it all by themselves. Right now they're racing downhill, and because there's so much traffic, because they took a lane out, We do not need to create secondary problems. As leaders, we should go to the community, put these on the table, and not select one over another, but find a middle ground, provide that kind of leadership.
So before we get to closing arguments, I want to talk closing statements. I want to